Season 1, Episode 7, Content That Connects. Welcome back to the channel. If you have started mapping out your target audience and sharing your story online, you have probably run into one of the most common pieces of advice in the modern creative space. You have probably been told that you need a highly detailed, rigid content calendar. The standard advice says you need a color-coded spreadsheet, a strict 30-day schedule, and a mountain of pre-planned posts just to survive online. But according to Chapter 7 of our primary master resource, How to Start a Mail Club in 90 Days, over-engineering your social media is a fast track to creative exhaustion. The guide states a beautiful and incredibly freeing truth. You do not need a complicated content calendar. You don't need to manufacture an artificial life online because your real life is already full of meaningful stories. When you run a physical mail club, your daily routine is inherently interesting to an outside world that is starving for slow, tactile, and authentic experiences. In this episode, we are breaking down the exact framework to throw out the stressful spreadsheets, dismantle the daily posting myth, and utilize a simple 4-pillar system to create content that deeply connects with your ideal members. Let's dive in. Core takeaway 1, categories over calendars. Let's look directly at why rigid content schedules often fail small creators. When you force yourself to follow a hyper-detailed, fixed calendar, social media instantly stops feeling like a joyful invitation and starts feeling like unwanted homework. Strict schedules completely drain the human element out of your brand, leaving your feed looking forced and corporate. The Master Guide teaches us that a flexible, category-based system is infinitely healthier and more effective. Instead of planning out exact posts weeks in advance, simply work within broad creative categories. Think about your natural weekly workflows as your organic content sources. When you focus on categories like behind-the-scenes processes, lessons learned, personal stories, finished product reveals, or simply the small joys of your daily routine, you will never run out of things to say. The text emphasizes that spontaneity and raw honesty feel much more genuine to an online audience than curated, artificial perfection. People do not want to follow a robotic billboard. They want to follow a real human being who is noticing beautiful things. When you allow your real-life experiences to dictate your content, the heavy pressure completely melts away. You stop trying to manufacture a performative online presence, and you simply invite your people to watch your real journey unfold. Core takeaway 2, you don't need to post every day. Now, let's dismantle one of the biggest and most destructive myths in the entire online marketing world. It is the belief that you must post content every single day to appease an algorithm. New creators often trap themselves in an exhausting cycle of constant production out of fear that if they take a single day off, their community will disappear. But How to Start a Mail Club in 90 Days explicitly reminds us that no digital algorithm is ever worth sacrificing your mental peace. Your business should exist to make your real life better, not more stressful. There is a massive structural difference between consistency and frequency. Frequency is just a numbers game, but consistency is a promise of reliability. You can build a beautifully consistent, thriving club by posting 3 or 4 times a week and leaving clear room to rest and breathe. The guide introduces a profound concept called margin. Margin means leaving extra time, extra energy, and extra grace in your business workflows. When you have built-in margin, an unexpected life interruption like a broken tool or a sick pet is just a minor inconvenience instead of a business emergency. Rest is not a lazy luxury. Rest is a vital piece of the creative process. A burned-out creator cannot produce work that carries hope and joy. By prioritizing your well-being over digital noise, you ensure that the work you create remains healthy, sustainable, and full of real life. Core takeaway 3, the 4-pillar framework. To completely eliminate creative block and streamline your production, the book outlines an incredibly simple 4-pillar content framework. Instead of staring at a blank screen wondering what to say, you simply rotate between 4 core intentions: inspire, invite, entertain, and share. First, you have the inspire pillar. These are posts focused entirely on hope, kindness, and simple beauty. You can share a moving quote, a beautiful close-up photograph of a floral asset, or a short snippet from your upcoming monthly letter. These posts give people a quiet moment to slow down and breathe. Second, you have the invite pillar. These are your business-focused posts, but they must always read like a warm invitation, never like high-pressure sales manipulation. You are simply showing a new monthly theme or a packing routine and saying, "We would love to welcome you into the community if this brings you joy." Third, you have the entertain pillar. This is where you share the lighthearted, imperfect reality of your business. Show your community your bloopers, your printing errors, your packing disasters, or your pet completely disrupting your workspace. Showing the unpolished reality makes you incredibly relatable. Fourth, you have the share pillar. This is where you simply document your ordinary, everyday hobbies. Talk about the books you are reading, the coffee ritual you love, or the travel memories that inspire your artwork. By jumping between these 4 pillars, your content strategy remains beautifully balanced, perfectly diverse, and completely stress-free. Actionable exercise, the 1-question check-in. So, how do you practically start implementing this streamlined approach today? Your actionable exercise this week is to completely close out your complex planning spreadsheets and perform a simple 1-question check-in before you post. Look at your work table or think about a lesson you learned this week and ask yourself, which of the 4 pillars can I naturally lean into right now? Should I inspire, invite, entertain, or share? Once you pick your pillar, grab your phone and document an honest, raw snippet of that exact moment. When you type out your text caption, completely banish formal corporate language. Write it exactly like you are sending a warm, thoughtful message to a close friend. Keep it short, keep it authentic, and keep it human. Because your community members are looking for real connection, not a polished corporate announcement. Creating content that connects isn't about becoming a non-stop digital entertainment machine or tracking complex metrics. It is simply about opening an honest window into your creative process and inviting your specific people to experience a little more beauty and hope alongside you. Today's lesson was drawn directly from the foundational principles in the book How to Start a Mail Club in 90 Days, which is the primary resource we'll be breaking down throughout this entire series. If this breakdown brought a sense of peace to your marketing strategy, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are moving through this comprehensive handbook chapter by chapter to make sure you have the exact scripts and structural mindsets to launch your club with total clarity. Drop a comment below sharing which of the 4 pillars you feel most excited to use this week, and I will see you in the next episode when we break down Chapter 8 to discuss how to grow your membership without ever feeling salesy. Until next time, keep sharing and keep building.